Hello everyone, welcome to Jonesborough, Tennessee. Jonesborough, Tennessee is, you can see here, the oldest town in the state of Tennessee. It was established in 1779. What I thought we would do today is just take a walk through downtown and show you a little bit of the incredible history that you can find here. So welcome back to the channel. My name is Mike. Let's go for a stroll. Right off the bat, when you come into town, you find the First Baptist Church, which was established in 1842. But we're going to walk down this way. Yes, Jonesborough, Tennessee was established 17 years before Tennessee was granted statehood. The General Assembly of North Carolina established it as the county seat of Washington County. You can see some of these structures over here and how beautiful they are. So what is Jonesborough, Tennessee famous for? The history of Jonesborough, it comes to life in this 18th century town. It's well preserved, and the main street, as you can see here, is the very popular lollipop shop, candy and toy store. So we're kind of going on a journey through the past as we walk down the street here. You're going to see and step onto the grounds that Daniel Boone once walked. Andrew Jackson, David Crockett, John Sevier, and so many others stood right in here before we did. I love this little building right here. Look at that. Now, the population of Jonesborough, Tennessee in 2023 is 6,210. It's also the county seat of Washington County, Jonesborough. It's currently growing at a rate of 2.12%. So you may ask, well, what is the history of Jonesborough, Tennessee? Well, it was chartered by the state of North Carolina in 1779 and laid out in 1780, named for Willie Jones, a resident of Halifax, North Carolina. He supported the western settlements, and the town served as capital of the state of Franklin in 1784 and 85. The town was named after Willie Jones, a North Carolina legislator who supported westward expansion over the Appalachian Mountains, including these beautiful buildings. Right here is the Washington County Courthouse. 19 and 13. Just a beautiful structure. As you can see over there, the Hilbert Building, 1944. But the facade on these buildings is just amazing. You've got all kinds of different stores as you walk down through here, which you can see the names at the top of these buildings: Dilworth and Vines. And just out front here in the courthouse, we have a monument. It talks about Washington District, 1776, the first governmental division ever named in honor of George Washington. Washington County, 1777. Jonesborough, established by North Carolina Act of 1979, laid out in 1780, I should say. I love this on the side of the building down there. I'm not sure you can see it. It's the mail pouch. When in town, you can stop by the courthouse here and you can see there's a map with a lot of the information, places you would like to see as you stroll through town. And Jonesborough is known as the storytelling capital of the world. Love this old Mox building here, old department store. And over to our right here is the Mary B. Martin Storytelling Hall. Literally thousands come here once a year for the storytelling conference. And just across the street is the Chester Inn Look at that. So I want to take you over and show you a little bit about the Chester Inn. The storytelling hall is a more modern building. It's very nice inside. Here's the Chester Inn. I love the porch up here. One of the things that's unique about this porch is the top up here, and it's painted a color called haint blue. And you can look up haint and why they used it. Some say to protect them from ghosts, others for so it would look like the sky and it would keep you cooler. But you can look that up if you'd like to. Right across the street there, you can see the First National Bank there. So let's go down and take a look around. What you can see right there, the Chester Inn, built in 1797 by Dr. William P. Chester of Lancaster, PA. It has been continuously occupied as an inn, a hotel, and an apartment house. Among the guests here have been 3 presidents of the United States: Andrew Jackson, James K. Polk, and Andrew Johnson, as well as John Sevier. Governor of Franklin and first governor of Tennessee, President Andrew Jackson, held a reception for his friends on the porch of the inn in the summer of 1832. So the very porch that we just walked across. Unfortunately, the Chester Inn is closed, so we can't go in, but it is a wonderful place to visit when you're here in town. So much history and pictures and different things inside. Yeah, I just think it's a beautiful old building here in downtown. Right beside it, we come to the Christopher Taylor House, where you can read about 1 mile southwest of this location. This log house was built in 1777 by this officer who was a veteran of the French and Indian War and a major in the American Revolutionary War. He is buried in the family cemetery nearby. Andrew Jackson lived here in 1788 and 89 while practicing law in Jonesborough. The house was moved intact to this site in 1974 to preserve it from demolition. It's pretty cool. Certain times throughout the year, they do open it up where you can go in and walk through. But you can see the joints there and how it's all put together. Look at this huge fireplace. Lots of history there. It's one of those buildings you wish you could go inside, sit down, and push a button, and everything that's happened inside, big events, you could just listen. I think that'd be great. Directly across the street is the historic Jackson Theater. They've been working on it for a while and got it looking pretty good. Still some work to go on it, I think. By the way, if you're looking for a good place to eat when you're here in town, the Main Street Cafe right there has really good sandwiches, burgers. And here is the Jonesborough Presbyterian Church. It was organized in 1790. put up in 1845, and then it was restored again in 1944. This is quite interesting right here, folks. I'll let you read that. First periodicals to doing away with slavery, right here in this building. It's the May Dishner House now. It's on the National Register of Historical Places. Beautiful home. I'll take you back by over there in a minute, but that is the historic Eureka Inn. Crossing over Main Street and First Avenue here. I think the Eureka Inn there's really pretty. Yeah, so this is just a stroll down Main Street here in Jonesborough. And if you all would like for me to dive into some of these buildings, come back and visit something specifically, let me know. If there's something that I've talked about or something you've seen here, we can come back and do that. Some beautiful homes here on Main Street. And over to the left here is the Jonesborough United Methodist Church. Yeah, just beautiful historic homes. And you can see the sign here. Maybe the sun's kind of in our face, but the Chucky Depot Museum is to the left. So we'll walk back here. I'll show you a little bit of the depot. If you'd like to come and ride your bike. Here we are at the depot. You can see here looking back into the sun a little bit. This is an active rail line, as you can see here. And here you can see the Chucky Depot right back in there. And they've got a caboose here, Southern X450. So if you come to Jonesborough, you definitely want to come. They've got a nice place to park here and come inside the depot. They've got so much history in there you can check out. It's really amazing. We're making our way back up here to Main Street. This is a Jonesborough Methodist Church we looked at from across the street. It was organized in 1822, built in 1845. As you sit on your front porch here, you're practically sitting on the street. Antiques here. This is known as Sisters Row, 18 and 20. They do buy and sell antiques there. Yeah, it's just this architecture, these buildings. See back there? I love it. I like this balcony up here. This is a bed and breakfast. Or it was. I think it's still in. It's 18 and 32. It's a looking glass maker. It's got a shop in the back. And then we're here back to Eureka Inn. The Jonesborough Repertoire Theater. There's an entrance. We do some plays and things here that you can come and see. Here's a look back across at the Presbyterian Church and Christopher Taylor House, Chester Inn. A lot of these buildings, if you stop and look close, you'll see this old bank and trust company founded by J.D. Cox, 1886. Look at this old after hour. And here's another view, Chester Inn. So that's downtown Jonesborough. I'm gonna take you and show you a few more things before we get out of here. I'm gonna turn right here at Mock's. See if I can show you this painting here on the side of the building a little bit better. The sun is making that kind of hard to do. There we go. Isn't that interesting? Groceries, coal, hay. Now has the crafty peddler inside of it. There are some restrooms here, kind of back behind the courthouse, and going across the railroad tracks right here. I'm not sure if you can see down that way. It's the Chucky Depot that we were at a while ago. It's sad that the windows are knocked out of this old building here. I keep listening for a train, hoping we catch one, but I don't hear one. Yeah, this is the old Parsons Table restaurant. Let's walk back this way toward the old salt house. This is now the Tennessee Hills Distillery. It is known as the old salt house. There's a particular section of this old home right here that is really old, and I can't remember which part of it. It's now the Holly House Bed and Breakfast. Let's walk over here and see what this says. Yeah, the Reese Holly House, one of the oldest surviving buildings, erected in the historic district of Jonesborough, the oldest town in Tennessee, built lot number 1 of the original town plat of 1779. It's going to be the rock section there, I'm assuming, on the right. Wow. Back across the tracks over toward Main Street. It's a pretty shot back that direction. It's Paul's Dens of Odds and Ends in there. Dragonfly, Possum Tail, Escape Games. As you can tell, Jonesborough is a pretty busy place to visit, but not too busy that you're bumping shoulders on the sidewalk. And I was wondering if you might be interested in going up to the old cemetery. Maybe we'll walk up there for just a second. It's up here at the top of the hill. We are coming up to the old cemetery and the old school. This is the Warner Institute, 1876-1913. Built by the Holston Association of Baptist Churches in 1854. Female Institute. And boys. Operated by Confederate Colonel Robert Duncan in 1876. That's it right there in front of us. I guess I should say cemetery. Isn't the difference between a cemetery and a graveyard? The graveyard are graves in the yard of a church. The cemetery, there's not a church necessarily next to it. I believe that's the difference. Correct me if I'm wrong down below. Welcome to Old Jonesborough Cemetery, Rocky Hill. A historic community burial ground founded circa 1800, in use through the mid-20th century. Both the garden-style section with family plots, some bordered by fences, and original section featuring random rows of graves can be found here. This is Anna Maria, born September 29, 1876, died 1878. Oh, wow. Henry Haas, born 1825, died 1891. Look at some of these old markers. 1859, 1859. Some of them are really, really hard to read. This is 1836 to 1864, Sarah Jane. I'm going to assume that this tree grew up between these two grave plots right here, one on either side. Sure looks that way. Born 1855, 1875. These down here are really, really old. Can't even see what they say on them. Right there in front of us is an 1822, died 1889, David Gibson. Franklin Diedrich, born 1806, died 1884. Oh my goodness. There's another 1804, died 1835. With the town being this old, you're going to have this and the stories that go along with some of these, I'm sure. Look at the dates on this. Mary Grill, 1774 and 1860. So down here in the lower part of the cemetery, there's some really old, can't tell what that one says. Right here beside it, we have several. 1899. Looks like a very prominent grave marker back here, doesn't it? And the gate's open, so let's check it out and see. This is Ann Nelson, died in 1850, born in 1816. These here appear to be a little bit more modern, at least a few of them. 1866, 1893. Now I was told by tour guide that all these graves over through here that we just walked through would be white folks. And then there's another section up over the hill where African American would be buried. Now, I'm not exactly sure where. This appears to be a family area right here with lots of age on it. Not sure if you guys can make any of that out or not. So I'm not sure if where we just looked and right in here is the African American section. Some of you that know can maybe let us know, leave a comment down below. It is possible though that on up there is African American. Well, I think that's going to do it for today's little walking tour here in Tennessee's oldest town, historic Jonesborough, Tennessee. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, it'd be great if you hit that like button. Leave us a comment and share with your friends, family, whoever you think might be interested in videos like this. Because there's all kinds of small towns with big stories, and Jonesborough definitely has one. And remember, if you would like for me to go back, visit any of these places individually, dig up more history, and share with you, I'll be glad to do that. So until next time, I'm Mike. Thanks for watching.